Hello, welcome to On What Fight Clan. Today, I'd like to welcome Adrian Castro. Oh, hang on, Chino.
That's my nickname.
Okay. Right, okay. So you're all good with me saying Adrian Castro,
Yeah,
right? But
yeah.
yeah, okay. Also known as Chino. Chino, how you
Gina.
doing? Yes, right, brilliant. Now, it's very, very nice to meet you. And I'm going to say, first of all, I really, really appreciate you coming on. I mean, I'm very, very grateful. So thanks a lot for coming on.
I'm very grateful for being here. So thank you for thank you for this.
No problem. Good. I mean, this is how it should be, right? Why can't we just connect and have
Yeah,
chats? But it ain't always the
exactly.
way it goes.
Mm.
So, like I said, thanks very much for that. Now, Tiger Cop Project
Mm.
A. This is why
Mm.
you're here, right?
Yes,
Well, I mean, it's why you're here, but trust me, I'll chat about all sorts of things. So let's just see where the chat goes.
yes,
What is nice for me though, and this is a very, very rare thing, is that before me and you got in contact, I'd already seen Tiger Cop. So I already knew of the film. I'd already seen it, being into Hong Kong movies. Luckily, I'd seen it. It'd been promoted, shared around, or whatever, and I'd already seen it. I was chatting about it with my brother, and I was chatting about it with another friend of mine, Rodney. So it was definitely out there. But what I've never been able to do before is because I want to chat about it, right? I
yeah,
watched it. I want to chat about it, but I've never been able to chat to the fight choreographer, the writer, and director. That is not something that I usually get to do when I want to chat about a new film that I've seen. So listen,
yes.
seriously, I know I've already said it, but again, thank you very much for being so open to doing this. It's
Mm.
it's a
Thank you,
pleasure.
thank you.
All right, no, right. So look, I'm just going to chat to you then. Now, first
Okay.
things I'm going to say is I've got to find out why, because I've watched this and I can see the passion. I know what's going on in here. I can tell because I don't know you. This is the first time we've met. This
Yes.
is the first time we spoke, apart from the DMs that we had, which we didn't discuss anything. We didn't chat, so we
Hmm.
don't know each other at all. So I only know you through this film. That's it.
Yes.
That's all I know of you is through this film. And I know that obviously not all of you, but part of you, I know. I know we have the same feelings about a certain era of Hong Kong
Yes.
cinema.
Yes.
I know for sure because
Yes.
you have given that to not just me, but to anybody who watches Tiger Cop Project A. I feel what you feel because you have put it onto this film. And
Exactly.
honestly, mate, brilliant. So I've got to ask you why you did this. I mean, there's no way you don't like Hong Kong and Kung Fu movies. There's just no way. There's no way.
Yeah.
So please, let's go right back to the start. Why make this film?
Okay. Have you seen the other Tiger Cops previously?
No, I
Ah.
never have. And I'm
Okay.
wondering why I haven't, because when I went to go and grab this Tiger Cop from your YouTube Fideo Films, I
Yes.
noticed there was other ones, and I thought,
Yes.
I know maybe that's just a trailer, but it wasn't. But I
No,
didn't have
there's
time to watch or
yeah,
do any more
that's okay.
research because we were meeting, and I only noticed that tonight. So
Yeah.
no, I
So
haven't.
Tiger Cop began in 2013. Um, just prior to that, we had saw um, so we saw online a German action team led by Andy Long Nguyen. He's a Vietnamese stunt performer and actor. Him and his guys, they did a thing called Yellow Zone. It's a very short Hong Kong fight scene. They put it up, and we watched it, we're like, oh, because I in my head, because I've always loved 80s Hong Kong, and I've always been into filmmaking, and in my teens, my video camera, I'd be recreating Jackie Chan's fight scenes. So I always loved it,
This is what
but
that's what I want to know. This is what I want
yeah,
to know.
so I've always wanted to do that kind of style of action and filmmaking, but at that time, no one had done it. So Andy did this little short, and they did it. It was good, and it's like, oh, they did it. So I went to talk to Maria. I said, Maria, I want to test something. I want to test. I want to do a little fight scene, like at East Hong Kong. Let's me and you do a little, we'll fight. And it was like, 30 seconds. That was the very first Tiger Cop. You'll see. It was like a fake scene from a film. And I
Mm.
called it Tiger Cop 2. And we just did it on, a couple of hours. We shot it and I put it together and I put it out there. And I wanted to see, but I went the extra mile. I did the film stock and the look of it. So it looked old. And we sent it to our colleague in Hong Kong. He's a casting director. His name's Mike Leader. And he goes,
Ah,
"Wow, okay, it's interesting."
yes, I know of Mike
And
Leader. Now, believe it or
yes,
not, now when I say I know of Mike Leader, it isn't just from social media, or because Mike, as I'm sure you know, is an Englishman,
yes,
and I am an Englishman as well, right?
yes,
And Mike Leader, he won't remember me because I was only a kid. Now, he was obviously very young as well. But
yeah.
Mike used to go to the screenings at the Scala Cinema on
Okay,
London King's Cross that I used to go to. So I used to know of him. I mean, his name's Big Mike Leader, so you couldn't miss him. So I was just a kid. There's no way why would he remember or recognize me? Plus, he was also a guy that was good for going off to Hong Kong, right? And trying to get into the film industry. So he was a person of interest, if you like. So I remember
mm,
him, but he doesn't
mm,
remember me. So I kind of know Mike Leader a
yeah,
little bit. Yeah.
yeah. And so we put it out there on the internet, and then questions like, is this? I don't remember seeing this in the 80s. And I went, yes. So I got people thinking. They were like, is this? They couldn't place it. Like, did I miss something? So then I thought, okay, I want to do more. Let's do more. So I decided to do two actual fake trailers, Tiger Cop and Tiger Cop 2s. Like full fake trailers, different scenes and stuff. And that like really worked. People loved it. And then from that, in Australia, we have these like filmmakers initiatives for like streaming that our national broadcasting channel called the ABC. They have their own streaming service called ABC iView, and they had this initiative for emerging filmmakers to do short short series. And then so I applied and I got in. So I did Tiger Cops for ABC iView, so 3 episode, 10-minute short episodes. But this version was like it was the dubbed version, so it was in English, so as if it was
Yep.
dubbed. Um, so that was, and I thought, well, because the whole point when we started Tiger Cop was like I told to Maria, who plays Tiger in all the Tiger Cops, that she's the main character, is like I would love one day for you to fight Richard Norton or Cynthia Rothrock. That was the goal. Right. And so when we got to do Tiger Cop in 2017, so 4 years have passed, we reached out to Richard, say, hey, can you be a little cameo? Because you're meant to be the main villain for this series. And he goes, yeah, sure. So then we got him to be in the final episode in one scene, but he didn't actually get to fight because I didn't want to push the the what do you call it? The gift horse, shall we say. And
Yeah.
so
You don't want,
I
yeah,
got him to,
yeah, you already feel lucky enough for him to just be
yeah.
there.
Yeah, I didn't want to push it, so I said, "Hey, do you mind saying your catchphrase? Painful." Painful. And he goes, "Yeah, I'll do it." But he was surprised that like people are still into this, and I said, "Yeah, there's a massive market. People love this stuff." He goes, "Okay, cool." And so we did it, and then um, I did a couple more shorts. There was two more shorts. There was the pandemic was just about to hit, COVID, and everyone went mental about the toilet paper. The
I
whole toilet
remember.
paper craze. And so we did. Let's do
Mm.
Tiger Cop toilet paper hero about a villain stealing all the toilet paper, and that was hilarious. And then we did another one called Yes, Madam, because Cynthia Rothrock was coming out, and I got a chance to work with her. and then we decided to do a new Tiger Cop just last year because I want to do something bigger, like bigger and more people, and I wanted to recreate some action sequences that I've loved. Like I want to do that because I just met a whole new bunch of emerging stunt guys, action guys.
Mm.
I said, hey, I want to work with you because there's a whole thing here in Australia about the stunt industry and working with them and stuff and all that. So I wanted to reach out an olive branch. Hey, I want to work with you. Let's do this. So got them. We reached out to Richard again, and this time I said, I really want you to fight Maria with this one. He goes, yeah. So did the choreography for the thing, and we did it. So that was a dream come true, mission accomplished. 10 years later.
100%. I mean, yeah, you should be very, very proud of yourself. Anyone who hasn't seen it should watch it because you'll know why you'll be proud of this work because it's brilliant. But what you're actually talking about is the actual thing of getting Richard Norton in there, saying
Yeah.
painful, and how about now? This is just the
Yeah.
best stuff ever. And this
Yes.
time, actually getting him to fight. But you see,
Yes.
what you don't seem to realize, Chino, is that you have not gone far enough back. You gave me a little nugget of, oh, I like watching these things and I'm a filmmaker. Come on, man. Did you grow up watching the Kung Fu's? What's
Oh,
going on?
yes. Okay. Yeah. I did. I grew up, born in the 70s, growing up in the 80s and not having, there wasn't any access to, because I got my first VHS player in 86. So prior to that, there wasn't access to watch martial arts things. So my exposure was uh, uh, Sunday afternoons, Channel 10, whatever they'll probably show like a dubbed version of the 36 Chambers of Shaolin or something. And like, I watched it like, oh, what's this? I was a kid, like, this is interesting. It wasn't until I got into, um, when I saw Cannonball Run as a kid and I
Brilliant.
saw Jackie Chan, I thought,
Yeah.
who's this guy? But I knew his name, but I didn't know where it came from, but I knew I knew his name, but I didn't know, I couldn't connect the dots. It
Yeah.
wasn't until and then Battle Creek Brawl came out, the big brawl, and I thought, okay, yeah, I love what you do, but like there's something like I'm missing something here. And then I got into high school and then full of Hong Kong friends that I made. And then they said, "Here, what's this?" And they gave me the Hong Kong versions of movies, which I couldn't get in Australia because they
Hmm.
didn't exist, or they did, but they were dubbed. Or when Police Story came out on VHS, um, when I was in high school, they did a really can I swear?
Yeah, if you want to be yourself,
They
be
they did
yourself.
they did they did a really shitty job of distributing the Jackie films. So like when they released Police Story, it was Police Story 2, but they called it Police Story 1 here.
Oh,
It was really bizarre how they did stuff. So I would be watching those movies and like, okay, and seeing the dubbed versions, but I wanted to see the Hong Kong versions. And then my friends, they say, here, watch because they would get it from their the local grocer, Chinese grocer in the neighborhood, which had Hong Kong tapes in the background, and they would get the original version. So I would watch them like, yes, and I just soak it up, and I watched all the Jackie films in Cantonese, and then I branched out and I started to watch more, other stuff, like Samo's movies and Yuen and then the Lucky Star film, the Lucky Stars films. Like I wanted to, I grabbed them all,
yeah.
and then when I was old enough in my teens, like in '88, I would go to the Hong Kong Twin Cinema, the Chinatown Twin Cinema in the city, for Sydney, and I'd watch it, a Jackie Chan on screen for real with an audience.
Hmm.
And I saw Police Story 3 at the cinema, Drunken Master 2, Rum in the Bronx, and I was like, like it was so good to see,
Brilliant.
the original versions. So I'd be watching as much as I could. Then I'd go back and try and find all the Shaw Brothers movies and watch all those films. And then and the 90s came, and being absorbed into John Woo all the crime films and
Yeah.
the God of Gamblers and all that
Mhm.
stuff. So
Mhm.
the
Yep.
Chinese ghost stories, loved all them.
Yes.
So I swallowed it all. Like gimme, 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 gimme. So I fueled my knowledge of all those kinds of movies, and I'm still
Okay.
watching them.
Yeah, me too, right? But the
Yeah,
thing there is, you said 36 Chamber was on telly. I mean, that's
yeah.
amazing, isn't it? I mean, no,
Well,
that's a
they'd
rare one
show
to have on
everything.
telly.
They'd show everything on Sunday afternoon
Really?
on Channel 10. They'd show, they'd be showing 50s because I was a child of the 70s, so you know it's only had been 10 years or so when those kind of films had been out, so it's kind of still new. And they would,
Mm,
be showing matinees on TV, and they show anything, Abbott and Costello, Jerry Lewis, whatever, and then a kung fu film or a Godzilla film or whatever, they'd be showing it, and I'd be watching it. And then in the early 80s, there was a on our uh, on our TV, because it was only Channel 7, Channel 9, Channel 10, Channel 2, and then this new channel called Channel Zero, which was SBS, which was our international, was like a world movies channel. And then they started putting original things on there. And they're like, oh yeah, tonight on SBS they're showing. They'd have a guy in the 80s who'd actually curate, have a season of, like, we're watching all these Hong Kong films. I'm gonna be playing all these Hong Kong films, and that's why I got to see a lot of, like, the Chinese ghost stories, the Chinese erotic ghost story,
yeah,
and all those kind of films. So yeah, that was awesome.
it, it certainly is. Sounds like the Hong Kong movie scene in Australia was pretty amazing. You know, you had the Hong Kong
Well,
friends there as well,
yeah,
and so you had a
they
connection
helped me a
there.
lot. Yeah,
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 and
they helped
because
you,
I
got there was
was,
stuff on telly. Brilliant.
yeah, yeah, and being in social media now, and all the groups, the martial arts groups, then they post up little snippets of things like, oh, I haven't seen that, I'm gonna watch that.
Yeah.
Like I had only seen The Prodigal Son recently in the last
Hmm.
3 years because I didn't know of it. And
Yeah.
then, like, oh, this is amazing. Like this, I
Mm.
love that. And films that I had seen that I completely forgot about because I'd watched so many things, I forgot. Like, oh, Knockabout, I remember that. Yeah, and then
Mm.
that's what it's called. Oh, yeah. So yeah,
Yeah, like you say, sometimes you just watch it once or whatever. You don't know what it's called, but yeah, you remember it, and
yeah,
it's rediscovering these films. Yeah, I mean, this is amazing. I'm surprised though that being so young, that you were interested in looking for the original versions, or at least that you even knew that they wasn't speaking English. I mean, I was a kid, so to me, that's the language they were in. It wasn't until I grew up and I was a lot older that I wanted to see them in their original language. But I was more than happy watching them in English. And as a matter of fact, the ones that I saw for the first time in English, I mostly still watch those ones in English because that's my first experience of them. So a lot of us in the UK have a very warm towards the English dubs because it's
yeah,
what we grew up with. That's
yeah,
that's how we. We're not going to repeat Cantonese lines in a film, but we repeat and remember the English lines in these dub films. So
mm,
we liked the dub films. Not everyone. There's a friend of mine called Peter. He only watches them in original language, but he grew up watching them at late night cinema. And at late night cinema, they were in the original language. So that's how he watches them. So he doesn't
yeah,
like dubbing. But most people that rented them from the video shops, they were obviously all in English. And yeah, we all love them. Yeah.
yeah. Because I've loved film as a child, and I've been watching so many things as a kid and reading whatever I could read about the
Yeah.
making of things, because I'd love to. I always watch, so I was always paying attention to things, and then I realized, as I was getting older, like in my teens, like these films are edited, and I hate things being edited, so I had to find the Hong Kong versions because they were the full versions, and in Australia, some of the movies were cut, like Armor of God was cut, um,
Look,
and
Armor of God.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
There
and
it is.
so yeah.
Brilliant. Yeah. Yeah, it
So
was
yeah,
cut, quite a lot cut, but the Armor of God was the English, the United Kingdom version of Armor of God was also cut, but it was mostly dialogue scenes. I
that's
don't
right.
think any of
Yeah,
the
we
fighting
had the
was cut.
same
Yeah,
version as the UK, I think,
right.
pretty much.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but you see, like
Uh,
Armor of God. See, I'm surprised because I didn't know that was cut. There was no. To me, that one wasn't obvious. It's obvious when Bruce Lee gets nunchucks out and then they disappear from his hand. Then you go, something's not right there. But
but it
these
was,
things like Armor of God, they weren't. They wasn't always obvious to cut. Some stuff was.
but the reason that I found out is at the end. You know, the bloopers. There are scenes in the bloopers like that's not in the movie, and also
Good
in
point.
Project A, that's not in the movie, and Police Story, like, and then had to find the full versions. Like, ah, there it is. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Now that does
I'm
make
always
that
paying
never.
attention.
Yeah, that never occurred to me. I just thought there was, offset stuff, behind the scenes stuff. Yeah, I mean, there were times that it did, but most of the time it didn't. I just watched it and I love those outtakes or whatever. And yeah,
Yeah.
you see, but and plus maybe you had your Hong Kong friends as well, and yeah, okay. But so you knew, that these versions you were watching were inferior versions.
Yes, they're inferior. Yes, I love the original language versions of things. So yeah.
And does that go with any films? Doesn't just have to be Chinese films, whatever.
Yeah, Japanese like animes. I love watching it in in Japanese and any film. I want to see like the original language versions of things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And as much as I love English dub kung fu films, it is mostly old traditional kung fu films with most of the time the same voice actors doing the
Yeah,
dubbing.
that's the same
Yeah, I
guys.
always
Yes.
Yeah, the same blokes, right? So I recognize the voices and they become familiar. Um, but things later on, things like Police Story and Moderns that had a little bit more emotion and drama, then I started to go, nah, I need to watch these in
Mm,
Cantonese.
yeah.
These I don't want to watch in English no more. So I stopped watching Police Story in
Yeah.
English. But the old traditional ones, yeah, okay, Young Master, Drunken Master, Snake and Evil Show. Yeah, of course, I eventually started watching all of those in Cantonese, but I still, even to this day, will go back to the English versions of those unless they redub them. Sometimes we've had some bad new dubs, and they are awful.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, like I'm noticing a lot of the new remasters of the movies like Police Story 2 and Yes Madam, and a lot of the new remasters. Some of the sound, a lot of the sound effects are redone, or they put new sound effects on top of the old one, and like like it's jarring. So like I go like, wait a minute, I've got this on DVD, an old release, like I still the original version. It's like,
mm.
I watch that over a remaster.
It's
Like for
mad, isn't it?
me, I'm not too interested in pitch quality. For me, it's sound. It's always been sound for me, and like
Yes,
no, it's got to be the original sound.
yes.
And like even like with okay, I'm kind of off topic, but still the same thing. But like I collect VHS, I collect Laserdisc, and Blu-rays, and then like when Blu-rays came out, I was like, there's something not right here. The sound is not the same, and I put in a Laserdisc. Like the Laserdisc is better than the Blu-ray. The sound. I don't care about the picture. It's the sound because it's cinema
Same.
quality. I can tell like this is not right. So yeah, like with the Hong Kong stuff, the remasters, like no, I've got to have had the original sound. And
I
with Police
couldn't
Story
agree
2,
more.
when they remastered that, they changed the music. They cut out the music and for the park sequence, like no, there's meant to be music throughout this whole thing. And it's so like, oh, I've got the DVD version. I'm happy with that.
In the play park, they took the music out. Yeah.
Yeah, that it starts off. If you watch the original version, there's music throughout the whole thing. But in the
Yeah. Right.
remaster one, right, because it's the full version, the music starts and it stops in this whole fight, and then the music continues.
That's right. Yeah,
Yeah,
once it intensifies, you get that extra bit of music. Ba-dum-dum, ba-dum-dum, ba-dum-bum,
yeah,
ba-dum-bum,
yeah.
ba-dum-bum. Once he's
But
running,
this
yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
the original version, there's music. There's lots of music in that fight scene.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. I mean, this
That's just
this
me
is
being
unbelievable.
picky, you know. I
No,
love
no, 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 no.
original things, how it was made. This is how it's made. This is how it's gonna stay. You know?
Listen, right. I know this from watching Tiger Cop. How important sound is to you. I know
Yeah,
because of Tiger Cop, right? But now
yeah,
I mean, I knew anyway. But now you're actually confirming what I already knew because I watched a piece of your work and went, this guy is really, really on it with the sound. And the sound to me, like you, is the most important thing. Give me all these remasters. Oh, brilliant. Yeah, I'll have it in widescreen and all that. You give me the best picture quality you want. You mess with the sound, it's a useless thing to me. I can't watch it. I'm finished with it. And they do it a lot. You know, do it a
yes,
lot.
they do.
They've done it. I put one on the other day, Young Master. I finally got round to going, okay, you know, I love this film. Let me watch it. New Blu-ray quality. And never mind the fact that the music, I'm not going to call it wrong. The music was different to what I wanted, but I accept that because sometimes the Hong Kong soundtrack and the UK soundtrack, they are different. So I
Yeah.
accept that. But what I could not stand was the sound. You know, it didn't take me very long. I sat there and went, well, there was barely any noise on that kick. Can't be. It's got to be me. Rewind. No, there's barely any noise on the kick. Wait a minute. That's not the right sound effect. Hang on a minute. That's supposed to have the echo. Honestly, I absolutely hated it. And I went, I can't watch this. They've ruined it. Why do they do it? Why do they
I
make put all, what's going on with them? The
I
sound
believe
is
it's
already perfect.
yeah, I believe it's something to do with licensing, some weird licensing thing to different studios over time.
Oh yeah?
Yeah,
I didn't know that.
um, yeah, something like that. So
It's not their fault.
no, it's
You're giving them
it's on purpose.
excuses.
No,
I'm just
that's not
checking.
that. No,
I'm just checking. It's real then,
that's
so that sometimes they can't
yeah,
help it.
yeah, they can't help it. So, but like, you know, if you know, if you've got the original version on, you know, on DVD or Laserdisc or whatever, that's your original version, which is cool. You know, I'm happy with that.
Me too, but I'm supposed to be. This is the reason it irritates me, you know, and I've gone on these boutique Blu-ray rants before, is because they tell me this is the best, this is the ultimate version, and it might be if you've never seen anything else, but if you've seen another version or the original version, there's no ultimate about this. This is not it. And sometimes I think to myself, they're bringing these films to a new audience. Although I believe that most of the people that are buying this stuff are the same old people buying
Yeah,
these films. You're buying them, I'm buying them, my friends are buying them. It's the same people buying them. Really, I'm not saying no new people buy them, but if there is new people buying them, they are not getting what
no,
they should be getting. They are not getting the experience that I got. You know, in my opinion, a far inferior experience. That's the way I think about
yeah,
it.
I agree. I agree. And this is why you have like, you know, people like yourself and like myself and other people who are of our like mind that can educate others. Like, no, 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 watch this. I need you to watch this version. That's what I do, you know?
Yeah, yeah, I do the same. Um, but you know, I don't. I don't like to be the person that goes, no, this is rubbish or whatever. But I just can't help it. Like you said, we're only going
It's
back to
fine.
what we deem to be the original version, how it was meant to be seen. You know, so I mean, they just ruin
It's
it.
like you're curating. We're like historians, you know, film
Okay,
historians.
all right,
I
I'll
mean,
take it.
it's important. You know, Tarantino
Agreed.
does it. You know, it's important. You need to educate, you know, the next generation of filmmakers. You know, open their eyes. No, no, no. This is history. You know, knowledge. You need to learn this. You need to watch this, and stuff.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I'm always
I mean,
doing that with new filmmakers. I'm
good.
pushing them like,
Okay.
watch this,
All
do
right.
this. Yeah.
I won't feel bad then when I do the same.
No,
Okay.
it's important.
Well, all right. Okay. Look, take Drunken Master 2, for example, or The Legend of Drunken Master. Even that in itself, we're not going to link it to the original. So even that I don't understand. But that took so long for that film to come out to a Western audience. You know, it probably took films like Rumble in the Bronx to go, right, let's bring out some of these other films. That film took ages. And then people started to see that film who had never seen that film before, because Drunken Master 2, even though you saw it at the cinema, and I also saw that at the cinema, that film wasn't that readily available. It wasn't like Drunken Master 1, Snake and Eagle Shadow, Police Story. That film actually, for some reason, you couldn't really get hold of it. Me and my brother had a Hong Kong Laserdisc, and we had that for ages. And a
Yeah.
VCD. That was our versions of
Yeah.
Drunken Master 2. But so it wasn't a film that a lot of people had seen. And it was a shame, because for a newer Chan, obviously it's not new now, but for the time, that was a really powerful, brilliant
Yeah.
showcase film.
Yeah.
So I wanted people to see it. I didn't really want to. I put the fights on the laser and stuff like that, but yeah, I didn't really want to have them watch it in that kind of qual. I think actually the Laserdisc, I'm not even sure it was subtitled, but the point is you couldn't have a good qual of this film. Then they brought it out and re-released it and called it Legend of Drunken Master, and people started to see it. It weren't just the dubbing, man. It weren't just that. The sound effects. They completely and utterly put stupid Hollywood rubbish
'Cause
wind effects on it.
it
Crap.
was it was New Lines. It was the Hollywood version, the dubbed version for the Western market.
Yeah.
Because Jackie had become big because of Rush Hour, so they started re-releasing and redubbing his selection of films to the Western audiences, and and that's what you got.
Yeah, but why change the sound effects?
Because the studios are they're fucked in the head pretty much. All studios they do not know the people, the market, So they think this is what people want, and that's what they do. So, but yeah,
But
but
they
people
have the.
still.
It's
Mhm.
weird, right? They've got the film. They know they're onto something because Chan has become big, so they're dragging up his back catalogue. I get why they dubbed it in English. I can handle that. Even in this day and age, you don't need to do that, right? From Crouching Tiger onwards, you didn't need
Yeah.
films to be dubbed anymore, right? Okay, fine. You're gonna dub it, whatever. Shouldn't have done it, but let's just say you've done that. That's fine. But I don't understand how anyone sat down, watched that, thought it was anything like a Van Damme film or whatever, and then went, "Well, this is what we watch." Well, look at the difference. They're not the same thing. You're either going to release it or you ain't going to release it. But then they go and put the worst sounds on it.
I know.
Honestly, it ruined it so bad. That was the worst. I could handle the dubbing, right? I'm not saying it was good. At least Chan dubbed himself and all that. There was things where I went, all right, but you change the title, right? Which means historically no one's going to go, oh, this is a part 2. What's part 1 like then? Well, it's one of the best films in the world ever made, So please let people know there's such a thing as Drunken Master original, right? If there's Drunken Master 2. But even that, I get it. I understand. But man, the sound effects, that just made that film, well, it made it useless. It's just, might as well just forget about that film.
Yeah,
That version
I
of that film
stayed.
is crap.
Yeah, I stayed away from all the American versions of the Jackie films. I just knew, like, no, I'm not even touching that. I'm going there. Didn't bother. Like, I even Mr. Nice Guy in Police Story 4. Like, I've acquired, shall we say, the original Hong Kong versions of it, because I just can't stand, you know, the Jackie Chan's Police Story version. It's Police Story 4. And Mr. I need to see the Golden Harvest logo at the beginning of the film. You know, so
They even get
you
rid
know,
of that.
yeah,
They even get rid of the Golden Harvest logo, do they?
I think so.
Oof, I mean, blimey. I mean, it's like erasing history. You want people to go, Golden Harvest, who are these people? It's like they think people are thick, stupid, They don't give them any credit. You know what I mean?
That's right.
If I'm
Yes.
watching a film with a Chinese bloke in it, there must be a reason. Okay, their reasoning you've just told me is because they've just watched Rush Hour. So they think they're dealing with that audience.
Yeah.
They're not really dealing with us because we've already seen Drunken 2,
Mm.
Police Story 4. We've already seen them. So you're not really dealing with it with us, and it's not really for us. It's just
No.
that we love this stuff. So when you put those versions in front of people, we know they're not getting the true experience. The things that happen, or the sound of those films, at least the sound, everything about those films, they're magical to us. They create things. When we watch it, they create things in us, emotions
Mm.
that people like us understand. When you speak to other people that watch this stuff, we all know what it does to us, right? And it never goes away.
Yeah.
Those versions ain't doing that for these people. The real ones might, the originals might not either. But no, let's give these films a chance. You know, they're brilliant.
I mean, it's now today. I mean, now it's fine because of social media and because the exposure is so great. You know, and you got distributors and now who are doing the remasters now. They're like, no, well, let's release the original as much as they can versions of the film
Right.
to the audience. So that, at least they're doing that, which is good.
Yeah.
So,
Well, even though me and you have just said kind of ain't good because we've put some of them on and
but
gone, this ain't good. Yeah.
yes, but
This ain't good.
at least they're not they're not in terms of butchering or editing. The film is like this is the film. You're not getting the original sound, but this is the film, and here's all the extras and stuff. So that on one hand is okay.
Yeah, but I put Mad Monkey Kung Fu on from Arrow Video, and when they swing the monkey round and it smashes into the tree or whatever, it's cut. Now listen, I don't like that scene, but it is a fake monkey. It's not a real monkey. I don't like that scene. And Snake
Oh
and Eagle
no!
Shadow,
So now
yeah,
you have to
Snake and Eagle
find
Shadow,
an
88 films, the Snake and Eagle Shadow version, the fight with the cat and the snake. I never liked that. I love animals, right? I love them. I never enjoyed watching that, even as a kid or as an
yeah.
adult. I never enjoyed it, but I know that where the fast forward button is, right? That's cut. So they're still doing it. And then you watch Eureka version of whatever it is, Encounters of the Spooky Kind or whatever, and they chop a chicken's head off for real. And I'm like, what's going on here?
Yeah.
What's happened there? Yeah, I'm not saying that needed cutting either, but that's in it. And these other things
Yeah.
ain't. It's a fake
So
monkey.
yeah, I
It's
know. So
emotion. You have to have that happen
yeah.
so that we hate the baddies.
Yes, that's right.
Now we know the
So
monkey
well,
gets done, but you don't see it, you know?
yeah. Well, now you have to find an original version of Bad Monkey, just to
Well,
have.
that's right. But I'm saying they're still editing these things. So you think you get in you think what you're doing, right? You know, you've seen and bought many different versions of these films that you love.
Mm.
And then you kind of go, all right, I don't need this anymore. I don't need that anymore. I just need this version. Here it is. Here's the final version in the most up-to-date resolution you can possibly get. Obviously, that will change in time. This is the best you're going to get. And then you press play and go, okay, I still need to keep the vid. It's like, what's going on here, man? The vid's still better.
Yes. Like, um, yeah. Just like this is not kung fu related, but on the same topic is like a Nightmare on Elm Street. That one scene when Tina falls onto the bed and there's
Okay.
a splash of blood in all versions now. She hits the bed, it just cuts. And I'm
Come
like,
on.
whoa, wait a minute. Go onto YouTube, there it is. You know? And so
What's
now
happening?
I have to find the VHS version of it, which I don't have, but I've got to get it. But like, no, I've got to have the full version
Of course.
of the thing. Yeah.
Look, I don't know what's on Australian TV, right? But and to be honest, I don't even turn my own telly on anymore, right? Not unless I'm watching something I want to watch. In other words, something that I put on that telly.
Mm.
I do not watch what is beamed on that telly, broadcast on that telly. I do not watch any of that stuff, right? I just don't turn it on. It stays black until I want to watch something that I want to watch. Then it goes on or play video game or something. That's it. Nothing
Yeah.
else. But there's a reason for that. So in other words, what I'm saying is I know what's on that TV. And it's the most horrible, rotten, corrupting, disgusting, degrading stuff I've ever known. And you can't have a splash of blood or fake monkey. Can't have that. Some of the stuff
Mm.
that's on this telly,
Mm.
the way people are behaving on these reality shows and
I
stuff.
know, right? Yeah. Yeah. It's
I
crazy.
mean, That's all good. That's all good to be like that,
Yeah.
right? That's all good. But we can't have. Well, I mean, don't get me wrong. I don't like the monkey getting done, but the splash of blood. Then
Yes, I know.
this is a
I
horror
know.
film. The splash of blood is the splash of blood. It's
Yeah.
supposed to be gory, scary, or whatever. That's what a Nightmare on Elm Street is. So
Yeah.
why do you take that away from people? What is going on? I mean, it's with everything that you can listen. Never mind the telly. Give a kid a phone and an internet connection. We both know what they can watch. You know what? I'm going to start to get annoyed with this because this is bad. You can't watch the splash of blood. You give them a phone, and we know they can just open any one of these apps and scroll through and see God knows what.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That's
And that's
right.
all good.
Yes.
We can have all that on there, but we can't have a splash of blood, splash of fake blood. Can't have that.
Yeah.
We're not stupid. We know it's not real. We know that it's entertainment. We know it's fiction. We know it's comic book style stuff. But then they put on that stuff on. Not going to say the app's names or whatever. That's all, you know, there's a lot of fake stuff on there now. But what I'm saying is some of that stuff is real and rotten and horrible, even if it's just what's happened in your local supermarket, people having scraps and fights. So we're all good watching all that. And by the way, we should be as well. We're all good watching all that. You can't have a splash of blood. Nah, it's all wrong, man. No good.
It is. I know.
There you go.
Yeah.
Listen, at least we know, but rant over, I suppose. I'm glad you feel the same about this stuff, but yeah, these new Blu-rays, they're not all bad. You know, there's been a couple that I watched recently, and they were simple. Now, what I mean by that is, it was the same film that I had on DVD, and it was just a higher resolution quality. You know, the colors were decent, the subtitles were good. Yeah, it was in widescreen like the DVD was. It was just sharper picture. And I went, all right, this is good. And the sound was the same. The soundtrack was the same. The sound effects were the same. I went, okay, give me that is fine, you know. But when they start messing with it, maybe they should look at those ones and not release it. Or don't tell me it's the best and final and the best version you're going to get. Don't tell me that. Don't mismarket it to me because it ain't true.
Yes.
When a VHS vid is better.
That's right.
Yeah. Old crusty vids are better.
I love it. I love watching VHS. You know, I collect them and I watch them. X rental tapes. Love it.
Oh, it's the best, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
Ain't it? It's the best. Just look at the difference between, you know, a disc and a box. It's the same with video games. I feel the same about, you know, ROMs, PCBs, cartridges, manuals. Yeah. You look at, I don't know, this PS4, PS5 game, you know, and you look at any other game, Mega Drive, Neo Geo, look at those games, and you're looking at a piece of, the whole thing is a piece of art, not just the game. Everything is a piece of art.
The whole thing,
Whereas, yeah, right, the whole thing. But you look at these other things, you go, disc, nothing, rubbish print on it. Don't even show the graphs of the game on the back. Crap. No manual. It's like, no one cares anymore. It's just throwaway garbage. And that's why that stuff means so much to us. You pick up a vid. I mean, I was going to try and find one. I mean, there are vids all over the place. Right? You pick up a vid. What's this on here? Look, you pick up a vid, right? And you go,
yeah.
listen to the noises. Right? Look, I mean, just come on.
Yeah, I know.
Right? And then you feel like you got something. You go, this is amazing. Don't feel the same with that other stuff. Don't feel the same with it.
No,
Sorry.
So I got my son interested in watching VHS when he was little. So he's 16 now, but now it's like his favorite film is The Goonies, and I just got my hands on the Goonies, a copy of The Goonies on VHS. Said, we're gonna watch The Goonies. Yes, and so he loved watching it on VHS. So yeah,
brilliant. He likes the VHS version.
Yeah, he likes it, and he wants it. His ultimate favorite film is Stand By Me, and he goes, Dad, if you find Stand By Me on VHS, I want it. I said, okay, no worries. He doesn't have a player, but he just wants to have the tape.
That's right. You don't even have to watch it, but it don't matter. The box, you know, the artwork.
Yeah.
Look at the size of it. I mean, it's
And,
just so much better.
yeah, and I'm educating him, on 35mm prints. Because they show
Nice.
retro films. I said, well, these films are showing. Let's go watch it. So now he wants to go watch film prints of things. So like, yes, teaching him.
This is brilliant. This is brilliant. You're passing it on. I mean, we
Yeah,
think that Blu-rays are bad, right? But it's worse than that because we've got streaming and thin air now. It's worse than those discs. It's worse. I mean,
yeah.
it's even worse.
I'll only watch streaming if I don't have anything to watch. It's like, I don't have anything to watch. I'm gonna watch something on streaming. But I'm there
Yeah,
spending an hour like, I wanna watch something old, like some old horror or something, like, can't find anything, so I have to hunt. I got that's also why it's important physical media to have a copy
agreed.
of it.
It
Very
is. It's
important.
just, yeah, it's not the same. The streaming stuff, it's just not the same. Yes, there are times when you go, oh, this is so easy, right? I don't have to get out of bed. I don't have to grab the disc. I don't have to find it. I don't know where it is. You just press play if it's got stuff on it that you want. But you just don't press play because it don't feel the same. And that's the same with video games. They've got, I don't know if you know much about the video games, but they have these
Yeah, I
things
do.
now where they, all right, brilliant. Well, there you go, right? They have
Yeah.
optical drive emulators now, right? Like a
Yes.
mode or whatever. You can take the disk drive out. I'm just saying this for the viewers, right? Because obviously, you take the disk drive out, so you don't need to read the discs no more, and you replace it with this thing that houses an SD card, and you can put
Yeah.
all the ROMs, and they're good. They're good because the ROMs are the ROMs, right? So the games are good, they run good. Obviously, the technology is old, and an SD card is way newer, so it can deal with it, it can handle it, it's big enough in size, so it does work well. But you end up with just a big list of video games, and when you have a big list of video games, you don't care if you went out and found that game and you went
Yeah.
and bought that game and you remember where it came from and how much you paid for it, and even if it was garbage, that you put it in the machine and you tried your best to make this game as good as it could possibly be because it cost you some money and it meant something. I mean, even better if it was something that was brilliant, then you put it on the shelf and go, brilliant, masterpiece, so glad I have it, manual, box, everything. But it's a big list.
Mm,
You don't play them.
yeah.
They don't mean nothing. They're
Yeah,
nothing. The files, they're thin air.
that's true. That's true.
Not the same.
Yeah. Yeah.
But you can't own every game
No.
physically. So I
Yeah.
understand. Yeah, I understand. It's like, well, I want to play this game. Well, all right, you can find it. It might be 200, 300, 400, 500. They're dear now, retro games. So sometimes needs must, but it ain't the same.
Mm.
Not the same.
What's your favorite martial arts film? Oh,
My
like
favorite
what's your
martial arts film.
yeah.
Look, if you made me say I don't like doing this, I don't like top tens, I don't like favorites, I don't like it because I don't know, your mood changes, your whatever, things change. But if you said to me you could only watch one again over and over again, the same film every day, or the Desert Island Question or whatever, I think it would be Drunken Master.
The first one.
Yeah,
Yeah. Okay.
it's kind of like the perfect film. I think that's my favorite film. Normal kung fu, whatever. I think that's just overall my favorite film.
Yeah.
So yeah, if you made me pick one, I'd do that. What about you?
Um, Probably Armor of God. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
What's
That
the
was the first. I think that was my first one that I really watched over again and again. It really hit me, that one that I really loved. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, it was Armor of God that had an impact on me.
you
So
know,
yeah.
it did me as well. I watched that at the cinema, in a little cinema in the West End. I think it's called the Metro Cinema. I don't know why it was at the cinema. These films were not at the cinema, and
Mm,
it was. And I think I saw it in the paper. I might even still have a clipping of it. And I went to see it, and I absolutely loved it. Then obviously I rented it out. Then I bought the X rental vid, and it was one of those that I, like you, I watched over and over and over again. I also love Armor of God as well. Everything, music,
Mm.
sounds, the fights, the lot. I mean, it's wicked. I love that film too.
That's the only dubbed version that I will accept because the end song is different to the Hong Kong song. Jackie sings in English the end song, whereas
Yeah,
the Hong Kong version is the Lorelei song. So
yeah. Alan
that's
Tam
the
one,
only
right? Yeah.
version that I'll accept, that the English one, the Arm of God.
Is that
Yeah.
the high up on high?
Mm,
I wish for
mm,
into the sky. Yeah,
mm.
brilliant. Yeah, brilliant. You see, that is brilliant. But the Lorelei song is good as well.
Yeah, I
But
love that
yeah,
song.
yeah, same here. But it ain't that one. Yeah, that's the best. Yeah, it
So
is
yeah,
good. And
and
go.
no, go on.
I was going
Oh,
to ask you what fight you liked the most in that film. I mean, it's pretty obvious, I think, but you never know.
oh, um, hmm. Yeah, I like when he fights the four chicks. The four.
Oh, do you? That's yeah.
Yeah,
We see. Yeah,
I like that because it's just the whole blend of comedy and just it was like some of the brutal stuff in there. I really loved it. I mean, I love all of it, but that one I like.
I understand that's a very iconic scene. You know, even the way the directing, the way the four of them come out, down, down, down,
Mm,
down. Even that,
mm.
everything, the music, it is good. And as you say, it's pretty brutal. There's a lot of stuff in there. You know, flipping them over. Oh, the bit where one of them jumps off and he kicks the shins.
Yeah,
Boom! Ah, that now that is amazing.
there's the scene when he punches the breasts. So I
Yes.
recreated that scene for one of the episodes of Tiger Cop for the streaming thing that we did. So Tiger fights the main villain and she punches her in the breast. So I recreated that thing. So little nods there.
Was it also a nod of sorry?
Um,
Because he does that after it, then it. Sorry.
no,
Yeah,
we didn't do
brilliant.
a sorry. It was more like, oh, like she just runs away because it was,
Yeah,
oops.
brilliant.
Yeah.
Yeah, I,
I
I
like
like the.
I do recreate little things,
Oh,
the
I
Tiger Cop
know,
stuff. Yeah.
I
So
know.
yeah, in Project A, the bit where she fights with the two poles, that was from Samo's movie, Skitty Dragon.
Skinny tiger, fatty dragon. Yeah,
Yeah, when he fights
yeah,
those guys with the poles, that I recreated some of that sequences. The
yeah,
the the kick where David Hong plays Tang does the double kick to the Indian dude. Um, that I semi recreated from Samu's film Ghost Punting, I think it was, on the container ship. So there's a lot of little things that I've recreated.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's inspiration, isn't it?
Mm, it is. And it's like, I
Yeah,
want to try that. I want to try it. And then the stunt guy's like, yeah, yeah, let's try that. I want to try that. So, yeah.
amazing. I like the fight in the food hall with the monks in Armor of God the best.
Oh, yeah, that's pretty good.
Because it's just so once it gets going, because there's a bit of comedy. Basically, once Alan Tam and Rosamund Kwan leave, Jackie, this time we're really leaving, right? I mean,
Mm,
I was like, thank God for that. Can you get out of here, please? Because as
yes.
soon as he's gone, whoo, everything changes. The music, the tempo, and he goes to town room. It's like it's not very long, but it's just non-stop until obviously
Yes.
the big kick at the end. Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
the rhythm of that, the way he moves, bum bum, be bum bum bum, down, up, down, his spinning back fist. That I just love it. The other bit, bash 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 bash, punches the pot, leg sweep, bum 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 bum, pops, bang.
Yeah.
It's just so I love that. I love it. He goes down on the ground, gets kicked in the backpack. Oh, I love it. I love that. And the music. Dan dan dan, bam 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 bam
Yeah.
bam. Da la 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 do
Yeah.
doom boom bam bam bam. It goes
Yeah.
with it.
Yeah.
I love it. The greatest.
Yeah. It's a particular skill set style to do that Kari. Um, it's, yeah, because I've done martial arts all my life since a kid, but I've always watched Jackie stuff, and I've always like recreated those moves to get that rhythm. And
Mm,
then as a going into doing action design for for films and stuff, and doing the Hong Kong stuff, it's a very unique thing that certain people just can't move that way. So you have to train them to have that rhythm like the
right.
Hong Kong style. Yeah, so
Yeah.
it's not an easy thing to get that rhythm and those beats.
It certainly isn't, because we know from when people have been used in some of these Hong Kong films and you watch the behind the scenes or the outtakes and stuff, you can see that people are sometimes doubled for what could be seen as a pretty normal thing, but it's the
Yes.
rhythm
Yeah.
that they don't have. Yeah.
It is that rhythm. So yeah. And then
Amazing.
and then when design the little fights in between Richard Norton and Maria, um and then watching them do it, because the first sequence that he does, I just designed that. The second sequence, I literally took the sequence between him and Cynthia Rothrock from Magic Crystal, those movements, because I wanted to do it with Maria and Richard. And like, yeah, he was just moving in that rhythm. So it was like, wow.
Yeah. He's he can just do it. Yeah, it's no doubt. Well, that's why he was used in these films, obviously, because
Yeah.
he could do it, right? Yeah.
Yeah. So that's just standing there watching him do it. It's
Mm.
like, wow.
Yeah. Of
and then
course.
and then like the best moment that I always cherish was when he gave me that nod, like, yep, that's good. And it's like, okay, I am very happy, and I will take that forever. Yeah.
Yeah, that's nice. And obviously, we're talking about Richard Norton, who's recently passed away, sadly, unfortunately.
Yeah,
Um,
that
yeah,
was hard. That was hard because we just finished Tiger Cup, and we just I just messaged him, hey, enjoy it, and he loved it. Much respect, and it's the last thing, he was in our little short film. Like, what? It,
mm.
I can't, yeah, compute.
I mean, this happened so recently that it happened before you came on. We'd spoke about you coming on,
Mm,
and then that's happened in between. It's like, what's going on? So yeah, that we've just seen him do in this Tiger Cop looking
mm,
amazing. So
yeah.
yeah, terrible, but we won't harp on that one. But that must be horrible, because obviously you a fellow Australian, right?
Yes, it was in Melbourne. I'm from Sydney, and he's Melbourne based, different state.
Yeah. Okay. So let's get on to, because obviously I want to chat to you about Armor of God now, but I'm not going to, even though we have a bit anyway. But I still want to talk to you about Armor of God. But we can do that some other time, maybe, right? We can just have a chat about Armor of
Yeah.
God. Let's get on to Tiger Cop. But I did want some background as to why you even made Tiger Cop. Now, look, I don't know much about you or Fideo Films. Um, I'm guessing you make other stuff, not just non-real Hong
Uh,
Kong 80's
yeah.
action films.
Yeah. I love horror. Um, I'm currently working on a little analog horror series, like VHS horror series, that I'm going to eventually make into a feature film. So that's what I'm currently doing. So it's on my channel. It's called the Eyeborn Phenomena, little analog horror series. But yeah, I do all kinds, but I just mostly focus on the action and the horror stuff.
And the
But
name Fideo Films. I mean, it sounds like video. I mean, why?
Fidel, because I'm a Latino, so Fidel actually means spaghetti, and I love spaghetti westerns. So
Oh my God, you don't.
yeah, I do.
That was going to be my next question. As soon as you said the word spaghetti, I was going to
Yeah,
say, you don't like spaghetti westerns, do you?
I do. My parents got me into spaghetti westerns as a child, and
Oh, I
so
love
I
them.
just love spaghetti westerns. Love them all.
Look, the only thing you could do now that might make me cry is say that you like Bud Spencer and Terence Hill as well. Then I'm finished.
Of course, I grew up with them. I have their movies on VHS, and I love them.
Same.
I love them. My favorite film is Trinity is Still My Name. They still call me Trinity. That's my favorite film.
You asked me what my favorite kung fu film was, and the reason I was able to answer is because you said kung fu, and but in my head, with the whole, what's if I could only watch one film over and over again, the only thing I was struggling with, it wasn't because you made me do a kung fu film or a Hong Kong film, but really I was thinking, yeah, but then it means I won't be able to watch a Bud again, and that would be they're weird to me. The older I've got, those films have become difficult for me to watch because they mean so much to me in a very different way to kung fu films. Um, they're a connection to childhood, youth, innocence that I can't get back. And when I watch those films, or I mean, Oliver Onions, Gilda Ambrosio's The Angeles, they released a new album recently,
Oh, did they?
fairly recently, and there was a couple of new tracks, and the rest of it was remixes of June Buggy and
Okay.
stuff like that. And I just played it as I would when I was cooking dinner. I put it on and played it, and I couldn't stop crying. Is the truth.
Oh, wow.
And when I say crying, I mean uncontrollable. It was really crying, like streaming crying, loud crying, not just I got a bit emotional. I mean, I literally was just overwhelmed to a point which I never knew was going to happen until I pressed play on that. I wasn't expecting that,
Mm.
and I've never been able to put it on again. It's kind of tears of joy, but it's also just the emotion is it's too much for me to be able to deal with, hence why it has to come out.
Right.
And I
Yeah.
have that with even with watching the films now, certainly particular ones. So yeah, that's how much I love those guys. But I do struggle. When I was younger, I just watched their films all the time. But as an adult, man, it's raw.
Yeah, it's a child, yeah, watching them nonstop, and I got to see one at the cinema when it came out. When Go For It came out, my parents took me to see that. It was the only
Excellent.
one I saw at the cinema, and I'll like never forget that. But I've always loved it. And then I stopped. I stopped watching anything of theirs for a good decade. And then I met a new young guy who's Adam McPhillman, who's now is like my DP and all my stuff. He shoots all of my, because I like working with someone that can knows my mind, right? And he was young, and he got into spaghetti westerns, all right? And I said, okay, what's this? And I said, hey, I'm going to give you something to watch. I said, watch They Call Me Trinity. Because I said, this is a comedy spaghetti western. And
That's a good entry. That.
he went, oh my God, I love these guys. I said, all right, watch these movies now. And I introduced him to Bud Spencer, Terence Hill, and he fucking just loves them. And he's young, and yes, a new generation who's being introduced to that. And then there's certain little gags. I think I did a gag in Maria's feature film called Echo 8. I just recently worked on it. There was a fight scene that I was shooting, and there's a sequence where this big guy just slaps this guy down, and then Adam goes, "Yeah, you little Bud Spencer thing there." I said, "Yeah, I did."
Yes.
So
Yes.
yeah, so like I said, this is important to teach the next generation all these things,
It is.
Um, but yeah, I love because he was saying because Terence Hill now is doing his tour of his book of
I noticed. Yeah. Yeah.
and he goes, "Oh, I hope he comes to Sydney." I said, "Yeah, I hope he comes to Sydney because wouldn't it be cool if we did like a Bud Spencer Terence Hill Film Festival?" I said, "Yeah, that would be cool. Somehow, how are we gonna do that? The only thing we could do that is the Italian Film Festival. We have to speak to them and stuff. So that would be cool
They would. They would.
to
Yeah.
introduce
So
you
there
to a
you
new
go. So you love.
generation."
Yeah, you love
Yeah.
those as well, and you've passed that on. What about your son? Any chance of a bit of Bud and Terence?
I'll get onto it. I'm gonna try see what he thinks.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
mean, I'd be surprised. He might be the wrong age, but he might need to be younger
Well,
or older.
he he's told me now that he wants to be a filmmaker like me. So he loves watching movies and he actually pick a movie by himself and like some obscure thing and he'll watch it just to absorb it. So he might be
Yeah.
open to watching that. Yeah.
Well, he's in for a right treat, I would say. So your favourite one is the second Trinity film, yeah?
Yeah, and odds and evens. That's I love that one.
It's excellent, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my god, they are just the best. And what about? So obviously that means that would double up as your favourite spaghetti as well, then.
Um, my favorite spaghetti western would be Django.
Yeah, just the first Django, Franco Nero. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah, that
yeah.
that was that's awesome. But they're all good. They're all
I
good.
know
Like the uh um the one with Sabata. I love Sabata. I love the second
big
Sabata
fan.
with Yul Brynner.
Yeah, yes, yeah,
Death Rides a Horse.
yep.
So they're all good.
I like Day of Anger with Lee
Dave
Van
Anger.
and Gemma. Yeah,
Yeah,
Scott
Van
Mary.
Cleef was just awesome.
He's so good.
He was just amazing. That guy.
He's so good. Never
Yeah.
crap. Every single film, brilliant. He's always brilliant.
The the in Once Upon a Time in the West, which is I love that's brilliant.
Hmm.
The scene where Jason Robards is handcuffed and he gets that guy to shoot the cuffs off. There's no dialogue in that scene, but there's dialogue happening in just the eyes. Like, how do you write that?
Right?
Like,
Yeah.
as a filmmaker, like, how do you write that scene? And like, wow, how do you do that?
Exactly. There's a lot of that in that particular film. There's a lot of Henry Fonda and eyes, and yeah, there's a lot of that. Eyes, mouths, a lot of zooming in on mouths. Even scenes where they eat and stuff, and you know,
Yeah,
gluttony, and there's lots of there's a lot of things in there that you think,
yeah.
blimey,
I
the
love, I
things they
love as a
think of.
filmmaker. Yeah, I love doing the Leone close up of the eyes. And like Adam, he gets it. When working with other filmmakers, like, why are you doing so close up? I said, we're doing a spaghetti western. They go, what's that? Why? And like, oh, you guys need educating. You know.
Yeah, just just do it.
Mm.
Just do it. Don't worry about it. Yeah, we'll discuss it later, but just do it. I got very lucky with Django because Franco Nero came to London,
Ooh.
and it was to promote a book, and so he came with his son and the author of the book, it's like Euro westerns or whatever, and he on Shaftesbury Avenue. There's a cinema there, and they played Django there, which obviously I'd never seen at the cinema. And he did chats beforehand on the stage, so that was already amazing. And he sat in front of me watching Django. So I'll always treasure that moment. It wasn't just seeing it at the cinema, it was listening to him speak. He was right there, literally the row in front, right there watching it, dubbed in English, not his voice.
Yeah.
And that guy has got he's got my favorite voice of all time. That just his voice, his actual
Yeah.
original voice. That
Yeah.
is a hey, listen, right? I don't like fancy men or out, right? But when he speaks, actually, the
That
look of him
voice.
as well. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. I can only imagine being a woman, man, because that would melt me like anything. that
Yeah.
guy, flipping hell, saying about him. And I spoke to him outside the cinema, I had a photo with him, he signed the book. So that day was an incredible experience for me that I'll never forget. So I also love Django. Yeah, that is an amazing film. Just a
I'd
brilliant, dragging coffins through mud. I mean, just the best.
I would love to do a spaghetti western like just like I did Tiger Cop, like authentic look. I would love
Yes.
to do that. An original authentic spaghetti western
I mean, there's
like
no
that.
reason why not, right? I mean,
Yeah,
you're
I know,
certainly
but
capable.
it's just, fun. Like I would love to do one with Terence Hill. I'd love to do a new Trinity film. I would love to do that. Or even a fake trailer. A fake trailer with him. I would do that.
Well, I
Yeah.
mean, all you can do
Money.
is ask.
Yeah, I
You can
know,
ju well,
but
you can
it's
just try, right?
yeah, of course, but it all comes down to, funding. How the hell would I get the funding to do that? It's tough. Specifically here in
But then
Australia.
maybe he's of an age where, he wants to help others and not
No,
worry
no, well
about.
that's not a problem. It's like, getting to overseas and, getting all the horses and all that. That's
That's
gonna
true.
cost to do all that.
Yeah, but remember, it's gonna be fake, so you just get a fake horse, right? Even a fake horse is gonna cost
No,
loads.
no, yeah, no.
No,
So
you've agreed it's a fake trailer, so we'll have to have fake horse.
no,
Get one of those
that's
pantomime horses. Get two of your mates
that
in it. Done.
that is
That'll
one thing
do.
on my list of things to try soon somehow, if I
That would be
can.
brilliant. Yeah.
Mm.
And Nero's still here, so you could do,
I
have
know.
Franco there. Yeah. That would be amazing, wouldn't it, eh? Yeah. Yeah, spaghetti westerns, they're another strange one where you watch one and then you watch another one and then you watch another one, you watch another one, and you just like you just said, you kind of then go, you know what, these are just all brilliant. It's very rare you watch one and go, that was a crap one. So brilliant, brilliant, brilliant. They just had a formula and it was
Yeah,
just brilliant, you
yeah.
know, and they're all brilliant. Like, I love Nero, I love Giuliano Gemma, loads, but Thomas Millian, whoo, man, I love that guy.
Thomas Phillips, yeah.
I love that guy. That he's
Mm,
bloody genius. He's amazing. Um, every time he's in something, it's special,
yeah.
and he knew it and all. He knew it. So yeah, that he's great. Do you like the crime cop ones as well? Not just
Yeah, I
spaghettis. You
do.
like?
Yeah,
Yeah,
no, I
me
love,
too.
yeah, with Alain Delon, I love all the Alain Delon crime films. Love
Mm,
those ones. The
yeah,
French New Wave things. Yeah.
and
Yeah,
the
and and
Italian
and
ones.
and
I
and
love the
Italian,
Italian ones.
the Polizzi, I can't even pronounce it, but I love all them
Nor can
because
I. That Polizia, yeah,
yeah,
that.
they were hardcore. Man, they were insane. The
Yep.
stunts and shit in those movies. They were good.
Definitely. Mad stunts, mad fights, mad violence, just brilliant. Really good. Just
Yeah.
proper raw, rough, amazing. Yeah. And wicked dubs. Sorry, but I like the English dubs of them and all.
Yeah. Yeah, actually, I like those ones because like they always had the American actors in there,
Yeah,
and they
that's
they
right.
did their oh, fuck, what's his name? He always plays bad guys in American films, but he was in Italian films as well. He was the bad guy in with Seagal in Above the Law, and he was also in Chuck Norris' Code of Silence. That bad guy. What was his name?
Two films that I don't Sigourney and Norris. Yeah, not familiar, but yeah. He's the baddie in them, is he?
uh yeah, yeah.
And he's in Italian stuff. Yeah, there's a lot of
Yes.
American actors in Italian films. Martin Balsam is
Um
probably one of my favorites in there. I love him in those films.
Henry
Obviously,
Silva.
Lee Van.
Henry
Oh
Silva.
yeah, the boss.
He was in
Yeah,
a
right.
he was in a lot. He was in Caliber 9, all these Italian crime
Yeah,
stuff, and it
Henry
was
Silva.
so
Yeah,
good.
boss. Yeah,
Yeah.
brilliant. Yeah, he's wicked. To me, he's like a non-real Palance, Jack Palance. Another
Yeah, I
bloke
know.
in Italian.
Yeah, I know, right? In the Mercenary,
Yeah,
that was good. The Mercenary, like, yeah, several years
I
ago, they
love that
started
film.
showing like film prints of these spaghetti westerns that I hadn't even heard of, and I got to like, went and saw them. So yeah,
You've seen some cinema stuff, have you, of spaghettis?
Yeah, they had like in the early 2000s, they had a whole series of spaghetti westerns on film. So that's when I saw the Mercenary for the first time as a film print, and like, wow, yeah, I
Is
loved it.
is the mercenary a professional gun?
Yeah,
Is that the
with
same film? Is it
yeah,
is Franco
Franco Nero.
Nero?
Yeah,
Tony
the Mercenary.
Mussanti?
Yeah.
Yeah. Now that is around the same time. That was at Sergio Corbucci around the same time as Compañeros.
Yeah, that's
And
it. Which is kind of the same film in a
yeah, it's
way.
the same film, but I always
Yeah,
preferred Mercenary.
yeah.
Penguin, the
The
Polak, right?
always lighten the matchstick on everyone's faces and stuff.
Of course. Of course. The music.
Mm,
Ba da 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 da
mm,
da 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 da
yeah,
down, round,
yeah.
da down, da 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 down.
And
Oh man.
Tarantino used it in Glorious Bastards when the guy with the baseball bat, Eli Roth, came out with a baseball bat. You know, they played the mercenary theme, and yay!
Yes. Yes. Yeah, we get that sometimes, don't we? There's a rock film, well, The Rock, Dwayne Johnson. There's a film, I can't remember what it's called, Faster or whatever, one of those films, and that's got Maurizio De Angelis in it. Um, I can't remember what film it's from, but it's got, I mean, clear as day, it's got the soundtrack used in it, whatever. And I think it's a good thing because if you like it, then you'll seek out, who wrote it, what it is, and maybe find out where it was originally used. So yeah,
Yeah,
I
like
do.
with you see Lone Wolf McQuade, yeah, with Chuck
Well,
Norris.
it's a Norris film. What's his name? Carradine and Norris, isn't it?
Yeah,
Yeah,
have you
not
seen
really. I
that?
mean, I do know. Nah, I'm not enough to remember it. No.
Okay, you should watch it again because that is a kind of spaghetti western, modern spaghetti western. Because Maurizio De Angelis did the it's a spaghetti western music. The music
Did they?
for Code of Silence. Yes, it is. It's an original piece, but it's spaghetti western.
Well, thank you for telling me that because I now definitely will have to watch it because it will mean a lot more now. That at those times I was watching Jackie Chan, I don't watch Norris. Now I'm open to watching Norris and Van Damme and all that. Well, I was long before, but yeah, bloody hell, if it's got those
Just
guys, they've got anything to do with
just
it.
watch it because just watch that film called Lone Wolf McQuade. It is a modern spaghetti western. Even the
Yeah, it's
opening
so
titles, it's all like red and black, like kind of
brilliant.
animated, and with Mauricio De Angelis doing the score of this, the whistling and
Best.
all that.
Yes.
It's like, this is bizarre. How is this working? It's working.
Right. Those guys are amazing. It's funny because my uncle Charlie was into Chuck Norris. So we would
Mm,
take Jackie Chan to, well, we are going to see my cousin. Obviously, my aunt and uncle were there as well, right? So we would put on Project A and whatever, and we would watch these Jackie Chan films, and he'd walk in and go, crap, Norris, brilliant. And obviously we'd go, no, Norris, crap, Chan, brilliant. So we had always had that, but he used to say to me, nah, Lone Wolf McQuade. And he always used to say that particular Norris. He'd go, yeah, but have you seen Lone Wolf McQuade? And he was into spaghettis.
yeah,
So
yeah.
the connection
So
is obviously there. Yeah.
at the end, when you have the shootout, but
Yeah.
it's a fight, but it's got that
Mm.
shootout music, that build up, and
Yes.
like, how the fuck is this working? This melding of two different genres.
Amazing.
Yeah, yeah.
Cool. All right. Okay. Well, that's definitely a good tip. I should watch that for sure, man. Thank you for that one. I mean, brilliant. What a brilliant one. I will watch that straight away. Probably streaming if it's available. Oh my God, no, it's not physical. But
It's not. I don't think it's available.
so anyway, I'll look for it and definitely give that a watch. So Fideo Films, you see how these chats happen? I told
Yeah.
you I didn't know what we were going to talk about.
Mm,
Fideo, Latino, spaghetti westerns, Bud and Terrence, cries, the lot. So
mm,
we'll try our best now to get onto Tiger Cop. We'll try, right? We'll
right.
give it a go, right?
Yes.
The logo though, it reminds me of the Boho films. Even the logo, I looked at the logo and went, yeah, this guy. So as soon as I pressed play on it and saw the Video Films logo, I went, right, I know this is meant to be a non-real Hong Kong 80s action, but whoever's made this film, I didn't know you obviously. I went, he loves this stuff already. Literally from that.
Yeah.
Then the next thing came up, Phoenix Eye, and I went, hang on, is he Kung as well?
No, that's
Because
that's
I mean,
that's Maria's company.
well, you know what I mean? We know what the
Yeah.
Phoenix Eye is. I mean,
Yeah.
I know what the thing. I mean, there you go. So brilliant kung fu name. So there was
Mm.
2 things in a row that I loved instantly, right?
Yeah.
Without the grain and the scratches. I loved
Yeah.
all the grain and the scratches anyway. But then right from the off, the film, it just lets you know exactly what you're in for, right? You get the film logos, then you get the Tiger Cop logo comes up, and it's exactly like an old Hong Kong movie logo, exactly the same, as
Yeah.
well as you just knew to put it there with like a Hong Kong harbor background. You just knew.
Yeah.
And I just thought, whoever's made this has really, really thought about it. There's detail in there that is obvious to me, you know. You
Yeah.
don't do those things by chance. So that was on purpose, right?
Yes.
What an opening.
Everything's on purpose. Like I had to make it look like, one of those films, like, in the Line of Duty movies or anything like that. Because like, they just began like that, you know? Even Police Story 3 begins on a black screen, but like the title just goes boom, you know? So I was recreating that feel to it. Yeah.
Look at that.
Yeah.
Right, the big A. So I want to remind anyone of Project A. The red,
Exactly.
yeah. The whole thing is brilliant. The fact that it's got that in the title, the Project A. You know, the fact it's in Chinese and English. The background. I just looked at it and went, yeah, all right. Well, you know, we're off to a good start here. And it had like the synth 80's music and all.
Yeah. Yeah. I
Who done
had to
that?
find no, that's all stock music. I had to find music that sounded like those kind of films back then. I had to find specific. So it took
Yeah,
me a while to find specific something that has that tone. Even to the
right.
end theme music, like a Jackie Chan movie, something that of that tone.
Well, you know, it's there. And before, I forgot that I loaded these in. We've got your video films.
Mm,
Very much reminded me of the Boho films, but that's no surprise. And
mm.
now I know that it's actually linked to spaghettis. It's unbelievable. And then look at that Phoenix Eye business. So another kung fu. But this logo though is wicked. I mean, it looks amazing, right? I mean, good job. Who designed the logo for you?
I did.
Hey,
I did. I do
really?
everything. Yes. I did the poster and everything.
Mm. Oh, that poster with the creases and the folds in it.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Oh, I forgot to grab that. I even wrote it down. Get that poster. For God's sake. That is absolutely brilliant, that poster. When you design it, but then you get someone to make it?
No, I do it. I do everything. I do on the offside. I do poster design for films and stuff. So for money.
Okay, well, okay, just you're gonna have to bear with me, but I have to go and find that poster now because it's impressive. And you've just told me that you made it, and I was meant to get it anyway. So just give me a minute. I'm going to find that poster. All
So
right.
yeah, that one in itself, I wanted to do like the Hong Kong posters, but it's sort of a melding of the 70s kind of feel to it. The artwork. Yeah,
Right.
because like the other posters I did for Tiger Cop are straight up 80s, like the really shitty photos with the really shitty backgrounds. I did it design it on purpose with the other Tiger Cop posters. They're really bad collages. But this one I want to do more like an artwork kind of thing. Like like Project A, one version of them was artwork kind of thing. So yeah.
So now we can truly discuss this poster for Tiger Cop Project A that you not only designed, but you're telling me you made this poster.
Hmm. Yeah. I do
You
poster
think that's
design.
normal, dear? Just, oh yeah, I made poster as
No,
well. No,
it's
it's
not
not
normal.
normal. No.
No.
See, at least you know.
No,
That's a
I do a lot of all the posts myself, everything, sound design and grading and everything.
Fantastic
Yeah,
job. I mean, that is brilliant. Even the
thank you.
logo, look what you've done there. You've given it a 3D block effect there behind
Yeah,
it.
that
I mean,
that was the Project A kind of feel to it,
right?
the title. Yeah.
And you've got the folds, the creases, because we know that you
Yes.
can't get these posters in good nick because they're never rolled up.
Yeah.
So you even went with that. You got the
Yes.
characters. Look at the top. There's not just folds. Look at the top middle. There's an actual proper like creases.
Yes.
What about the boxes at the bottom with the characters' faces in down there?
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
classic and all.
Yes. Because they
This
used to do
is
that too.
excellent. Absolutely brilliant. Where do you learn these skills, please?
Just
What
over
software do you use?
Photoshop.
Right. Yeah. Okay. Me too, but
Photoshop.
I'm non-real at it. But even so, your the skills are brilliant. No.
Thank you.
Yeah. Well. Yeah. I mean, good. I mean, an amazing job. I mean, it looks like it would look. I mean, it looks proper legit, and it matches the theme and the style and the, like you say, the throwback to the actual film that you made as well. It's
Yeah. So
and
in
we
an
know
alternate
modern day.
universe, this exists.
Yeah, there you go. Right, and we know that modern day posters for say
They
Hollywood
suck
films, they are absolutely
balls. Just
right,
utter garbage. Good
aren't they?
God.
Aren't they just the worst things? There's just no imagination, no connection with the source material. Even if the film is amazing, the poster is the
Mm,
same as every other poster. There's no individuality to any of them. It's just
mm.
exactly the same. Every single one. Just never any artwork. Just photographs of the people. Crap logos for the films. Nothing. There's nothing to make you want to watch it. Nothing. But look at that.
Yeah.
And you've been designing stuff like this for a long time, yeah?
Yeah, I've been doing it since yeah, 2000 and yeah, 13 or around there. About 10 years I've been doing poster design, and I only recently actually doing it as a business. You know, I got to do my first few Hollywood films recently, so that was like, oh, wow, okay, that was nice.
Wait a minute. What? So you like commissioning? You're actually making posters for others now?
Yeah, yeah,
Excellent. And you just said Hollywood ones, and I just said all Hollywood posters are crap. Was you able, because you're making it for somebody else, right? So you're only going to be able to put a certain amount of yourself in there because
yeah.
it's not
So
your film.
yeah, so there's a couple that got released. They're US films, and they were a couple of the posters I did. They got released, which is good. And there's one that didn't get released, unfortunately, which was like the one that I really like to do because like Chevy Chase was in it, and you know I designed it like an artwork, but they didn't end up using it, even though the company loved it. But it's at the end of the day, it's the distributors like, nah, we don't want this. We want something, whatever.
Mm.
So, but I don't care. At least I got to do a poster with Chevy Chase on it. So, you know,
Yeah, maybe they'll use it. I don't know, in a booklet in the Blu-ray or something. I don't know. They shouldn't waste the artwork if you've done it for them.
yeah. So
Alternate poster, right?
I've just sent it to you now as an Instagram. It's called the Christmas letter. It hasn't. I think it comes out this year. I think
Right. Let's have a look.
it's also like the first film, the return of Randy Quaid back into acting.
I didn't know he'd stopped.
Yeah,
He'd stopped acting, had he? Right. Okay. Yeah. Look. Do you? I mean, I don't need to put it up. I'm not going to find it. I take it the one that they used was just run of the mill picture of a
hmm,
bloke, and that's it.
yeah,
I mean, that looks. It's excellent. Absolutely excellent. The Christmas wreath bursting through. I don't know this film, but it's called The Christmas Letter. And I
yeah,
can see that the letter is obviously of an importance because it's the title of the film. Look at the glow on the letter as well. I can see it all happening here. You know what I mean, that glow's going up into the face and whatnot. Ah, it's bloody brilliant. Well, nice. Oh well, whatever. You still got to do it, and
Yeah,
the work is done. It's there.
yeah,
It's there. So more stuff to be proud of. So actual poster design now, ain't that brilliant? Because that does mean that whenever you make your own stuff, you can actually make the poster for it, which
yes,
you did. Yeah. Well, that's
yeah.
brilliant, man. There you go. I knew that poster was quality, but flipping heck, I'm glad I asked you who made it. So yeah, the poster, absolutely brilliant. Um, Total throwback. I like you mentioned In the Line of Duty because there was some enough good moderns back then, weren't there? In the Line of Duty
Mm.
4, that one, that's the best one. No, or the Line of Duty 4? No,
Which one's that one?
that's the one with
That's
Michael Woods in the having the fight
oh
on the
with
roof.
the rooftop. Yeah,
The
that was
Donny
yeah, that
one.
was good. Yeah, that was
Yeah.
good.
Yeah, that one was that. I loved that one. That was amazing. The
Yeah.
fight in the dark in the alley where he does the bolo punches and all that. Oh, I love
Yeah.
that. That film I absolutely love. Oh, and the first fight that he has in it is wicked, where a couple of blokes run at him and he does an amazing side kick and then an axe kick on his back. Oh,
Yeah.
brilliant. Yeah, wicked film. I really like that. So yeah, this film I knew that this was someone who, I mean, obviously you're making it, so I'd assume you're into this stuff, but even so, you could really feel this stuff coming through. So the opening credits, it had the red font, all the names were in Chinese as well as English. I said, it had the music, the very, even to me, the very first shot. So you got the credits, and the very first shot you've got is like the warehouse or whatever with the sign.
Mhm.
Even that I thought, what a lovely touch. Because to me, I went, well, there's confirmation that we're in Hong Kong then, because it's a Hong Kong company dot
Yeah.
H dot K. And I went, nah, this is all by design. This is all on purpose. It's gotta be.
Yeah,
Even
I had
that.
to yeah, it was a stock image that I bought of an exterior of a very old Hong Kong warehouse, but I changed the title to The Bad Guys Company, the White Ghost, but in Chinese writing, White Ghost Trading, whatever. The
Mm,
van is a digital van that I just threw across to make it
mm.
more like as if, yeah. So, yeah.
But at this point, we're talking, I know it's not very long, it's only 10 minutes. But at this point, before anyone has said a word, I just knew that everything that had happened up to this point had been meticulously thought about. So massive respects for that, because there's the detail is there. I mean, we're nowhere near the film yet. He's not even started, and
Mm.
I was I was in. But I love Hong Kong films, right? So
Yeah.
it was speaking to me.
Yes.
Then, as I said, before anyone speaks, but you get the first bit of dialogue, and thankfully, and it obviously makes sense, but certainly in this day and age, and I know this is a throwback piece or whatever, but the fact that it was in Cantonese meant so much to me because, well, you just don't see films in Cantonese anymore unless you're watching an old film. Very rare. Sometimes you do, right? Donnie Yen, he
Yeah, he
brings out
does.
films,
Yeah.
yeah, and they're still in Cantonese. And I know some people, they won't care and it won't matter. They won't even be able to tell the difference. But to me, it means a lot. We saw, what's it called? Kung Fu Jungle, Kung Fu Killer. I think they're the two titles for
Mhm.
it. That I saw that at the cinema, and he was there. It was like a premiere thing. And he was there down the front, and there was a Q&A bit afterwards where people could ask questions. And one of the blokes in the crowd, it was a very big cinema, one of the blokes in the crowd said, I love the fact that it was in Cantonese. And the place just went silence, as if to say, oh, what was that crap question? And, it wasn't a question, it was a statement. And honestly, I completely understood what he said. And this was a long time ago. I don't remember what year that film came out, but it's not a new film now.
Mm.
And he knew, and I had already felt that we're losing this. We're
Yeah.
losing this, and we have really. Look at all the new Jackie Chan films, right? I mean, they're all in Mandarin, and
Yes.
whatever, fine. But I like Hong Kong films, and Hong Kong is Cantonese, and it is would have been an easy mistake, if you like, or something that you could have missed. Not you, knowing you now,
Yeah.
and the detail, not you. But just that just confirmed it all, and I went, absolutely brilliant that it's in Cantonese, absolutely brilliant basic Cantonese, that just even that, there's no complex dialogue, right? It's just basic film chat. And then
Yes.
the subs, Chinese, English, burnt in subs, not modern subs. I went, no, this is just carrying on as I thought. So these details, they weren't lost on me.
Mm. Thank you.
Listen, you know what? Thank you. Thank you for doing it, man. Now the sound, it sounded dubbed, just like Hong Kong films were dubbed
Mm.
back then. Was this dubbed? Was it shot
Yes.
silently and then you did the sound
Yeah.
after? Yeah.
Yeah, we did the sound after. Everything was after. Because I do it as if they would did it at how they would do it. That's how I'd shoot it.
That's how they
Yeah.
would do it. Yeah. But
Yeah.
there was so much stuff in there. Like I said, the chats, because it's British colony Hong Kong times. So it had the slang, the yes, madam, and stuff
Yeah.
like that. All that stuff. So the lady at the end, the English police inspector at the end, she spoke English.
English, yes.
Sometimes they spoke Cantonese, bad
Yeah.
Cantonese version or whatever, but most of the time they spoke English. I was like, man, this guy, he's definitely watched his films, and yeah. So you even did the same process of dubbing, doing all the sound afterwards, because it did give it that authentic sound,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah, so I got Richard to read. We finished shooting. I said, "Can you just redo your lines, record?" So he re-recorded his lines so they're slightly off, just like how it used to be
Yeah,
back in the day.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah. You could tell because when his came on, I went, "Oh, the sound qual," shh, it had a bit
yeah,
of a hiss on it, and I went,
yeah,
"Well, it's," and weren't it great though as well? Painful, and then she said, "No," and he went, "How about now?" That's just the classic, man. So it's so good.
yeah,
Look, I mean, we've discussed this now, right? How important the sounds are on films. I mean, on all films, even Star Wars or whatever. Sound is probably for me, and you've said yourself, the most important thing. It's the make or break of a film for me.
yeah,
Certainly with fight scenes, you can have a fight scene. It could be a brilliant fight scene, amazingly choreographed. It's got crap sound effects, and it means the fight scene is rubbish, or certainly not as good as it could be. Put old school sound effects on it, and all of a sudden, this fight scene is elevated to new heights.
yeah,
And I know before speaking to you, this guy is really into sound and finds it, as important as I do, because this maybe when it started, there was sounds for everything, just like a Hong Kong film would have.
mm,
So one of the first things that happens is the guy grabs the grenade, the hand in the grenade, and he grabs it, and it's a
yeah,
massive sound effect. And I went,
yeah,
brilliant! That would have a massive sound effect,
yeah,
right? These are the things that the Hollywood people with Drunken Master 2, they'd go, that's stupid. We'll take that out, or put
yeah,
a rubbish sound in there. But it had a proper sound. There was sound for everything when people moved, when people pointed. She was leaning up against a post. When she moved off the post, it had a sound effect. And I just went, look, listen, I'm saying it means a lot because I was listening to it and
yes,
going, you know what? This is it's there. It's there. Everything
yeah.
is there. The denim bloke. What's the name of the bloke in the denim?
His name's David Hong, but his character's called Tang.
Okay,
Yeah,
David. David Hong Tang. There's a bit where he comes onto the screen and he's standing there and he don't know that a boot's coming, right? He don't know, and it catches him off guard. That boot, bang, totally different sound effect to the other ones. Guess
mm,
why? It's a different kind of kick, right? It caught him off guard. It had extra power, had a little bit of extra guts behind it. And I went, well, you could have just used the same sound effect. And you didn't.
no, yeah. I
So
had to be meticulous with the sound because there's no sound library for this. So ripping sounds from so many different films to get that all the sounds.
I I've done similar things to this before, and we can discuss it at another time. I was involved in a video game once, and you'll recognize the sound effects in it, and that's down to me and my brother and loving kung fu films. It was a long time ago,
Ah,
but yeah. So we've
cool.
done something similar before. But yeah, like you say, you've just got to find these sound effects from somewhere.
Mm.
I'm sure there would have been a sound library at the time. I mean, I'm
At the
actually,
time, it doesn't exist anymore. They don't
yeah,
exist, so have to rip it and
yeah.
store it.
Yeah, right. And often when you try and take these sounds, there's other sound on it or shouts. There's no. You can sometimes grab them. You can get clean sounds, but
Mm.
often you can't. So sometimes a badly dubbed film, or what would be considered a badly dubbed film, is one where when the fighting starts, there's no there's no shouts, right? But you can see the people shouting. There
Mm.
were some films that were released in England back in the days that had that so-called problem. And even as a kid, I went, "How comes he's going and there's no shout?"
Yeah.
Right? Right? Because when you watch the original, obviously, of course, he's shouting, and you know, oh, he's obviously shouting, but it's to do with the dubbing. Well,
Yes.
those films are godsends now, right? Because, because they just have the raw sound. So
Mm.
yeah, it is funny, and I'd love to meet or speak to, especially people who did the sound effects for Shaw Brothers movies. Those to me are, I love all the sound effects in these films, but those Shaw Brothers guys, they're the ones to me. They're like the masters of it. They have sound effects for everything. They have so many different weapons that they created and
Mm.
prop, and yet there's a sound effect for from different ones for each thing. Cloth on a blade's got the cloth noise, and there's
Yeah.
so much in those. Those are brilliant sound effects, and I just so have such respect for those people who did that, that work that went into it. You can tell these films are sometimes seen as just throwaway, chop socky, rubbish Chinese kung fu films. And I watch them and go, nah, man, there's so much effort put into this. And not just the choreography and the fighting and stuff like that, but that sound. I just go, the sound design on these is, oh, it's second to none. It's never been, it's never been beaten. There's
Mm.
nothing better. So I rate the stuff loads, but everything you did, everything. The double slow mo kick you're talking about had the echo sound on it. So obviously, sound to you is important. You've said it's important. I'm confused with sound on films. We've touched on it earlier when we talked about Drunken Master 2. I don't understand when we have such an obvious, perfect blueprint for sound effects, certainly for action films. I have no idea why they consistently get it wrong in all action films, whether it be shorts, amateur shorts, Hollywood films, new Hong Kong films, new Chinese films. No matter what, I always go, you know what? One thing you guys didn't get right, sound. And you have to do is copy what happened back in the days, and you'd have brilliant sound. I don't get it.
Mm. Yeah. Yeah. Well, with filmmakers, sound is difficult. Like it's an acquired, you gotta learn. I don't know. I can't explain it. I just know, like, when when filmmakers do short films and like, oh, that's not mixed properly, or there's no sound. Why? I don't know. They're not getting the education, or I don't know. I don't know what it is. But like, just for me, like, just as a kid, sound was always been important. So I've always been really anal about sound. So
Yeah,
that's why I do my own sound design, because like I know what I want
right.
and I know what I want to hear. So yeah.
It shows in the final product, right? It's
Mm.
brilliant. And I know it was hard work. I know, I can tell. But all you really did was take and use the blueprint that was shown to you previously, because
Yes.
you heard that and went, this stuff is brilliant. This, not only that, you chose the right sound library for the type of film you chose. We know there's lots of different sounds in kung fu films,
Mm.
but you chose the one that suited this, modern day, that era or whatever.
Yeah.
You went with,
Yeah.
I don't know, what is it? It's probably, it's got that specific punch gut sound and a specific, face sound or whatever. You went for that
Yeah.
modern version, but it,
Yeah.
it, it works amazingly well. And why wouldn't it?
Yeah.
So yeah, man, I'm gonna just say I really appreciate that effort that's gone into that, because it has happened many years ago in many films, and we've heard it many times, but not for a long time unless you're watching old stuff. So to hear
Yes.
it now like that, and that's why that Andy Long bloke, he did one, Bye Bye or Goodbye Rodney or whatever, and that had wicked old school Hong Kong sound effects in it as
Yeah.
well. And I messaged him and went, listen, respect for doing those sounds, because you know we've got the blueprint. That's
Yeah.
it.
That's right. That's right.
So absolutely brilliant job. You've got nods, loads of nods in there from old Hong Kong films. You've got the Ken Lo Drunken 2 kick bloke. You even changed up the wind effects for that bit, because that knee move has those wind effects.
Yeah.
Simple as that.
Yeah.
We could say, oh, I don't work that because it's different sounds to the rest of it. No. It's different moves. That move
Yeah.
has that wind.
Has
So
that wind set. Yeah, that's right.
yeah, I loved that. I loved it. That was
Thank you.
fantastic to me. Those details are brilliant. All of it. The little nods, the metal sticks, the hitting the arms, the blocking, adding the bits of comedy, a little bit like City Hunter. Chan does that and does cries and all that. So
Mm.
there's just so many things that happened in those films, and you nodded towards them. I don't know if you made notes or whatever. I want to include this, that, or the other,
No, it's
but
just in here. It's just
yeah, well,
there.
there's yes, mate, just amazing. Look what happens in those old films, right? Another thing I noticed was that often in those films, especially this era, they were moving on. The actors were moving on to a bit more modern day kickboxing style, right? So they weren't doing tiger claws, eagles, and snake fist
Mm.
anymore. They were putting up the guards, right?
Yeah.
But what tended to happen when they started doing that is that the foreigners, the Westerners in these films, the Guilos, they started doing the traditional kung fu. And it was always funny to watch, because you go,
Yeah.
hang on a minute, it's an English bloke doing a tiger claw, the kung fu, whatever. And you even had that little nod, you know, and the guy sort of looked as if to say, like, what? What's that?
Mm.
So, but that's what happened in those films. You ended
Yeah.
up with the kung fu was still there, and sometimes, and as what happened in that last fight, right? Sometimes the lead Chinese actor would resort back or revert back to, as she did, and Maria went, you know what, I'm going to have to change my style now, and she went back to traditional kung fu.
Yeah.
That happened as well. But yeah, there was a lot of Westerners doing traditional Chinese kung fu in these films,
Yeah.
which you added in that as well. So that was a good one. I like that. I
I
mean,
I did
fantastic detail.
I did a little extra nod to Cannonball Run when Maria fights the big bald dude. I don't know if you remember in Cannonball Run when Burt Reynolds is fighting the bald dude, the same thing,
Yeah,
and he goes, "Hey, why don't you try this side?" And so I just ripped off that same scene. So I
yeah,
thought that'd be fun to do.
yeah. Why not?
Yeah.
Right? It's brilliant. Now that big bald bloke, he had Danzig written on his arm, a tattoo.
Yes,
Is he into the metal
that's
bloke?
no, that's his son's name.
Is his son in it?
Yes, he was the guy with the long hair and um in the suit jacket. That was his son.
But did
Yeah.
he? I mean, maybe you don't know. Maybe did he call him Danzig after Glenn Danzig, the heavy metal bloke?
I'm not sure, to be honest.
Because
I
that's
didn't
quite
ask.
interesting. Because it's not a very common name, but the only
Yes.
person I know who's called that is Glenn Danzig of Danzig fame and Samhain and whatever. So yeah, so maybe he's a metaler as well. But yeah,
I don't know.
I did.
I'll ask. I'll ask, actually. I'll find
Yeah,
out.
right. Send him someone's notice, right? And he
Yes.
called his son Danzig. He's after Glenn Danzig. So yeah, but I did think once I saw that one of the blokes in it was called Danzig, I didn't know that it was his son. But I was like, that's
Mm.
weird. He's got Danzig, and so yeah, so he was in it as well. Yeah, yeah. So we've another thing that you did with the Westerners is they often were made to look silly in Hong Kong films, which you've just alluded to with the Cannonball Run
Yeah.
nod there, and they were often made to look stupid eventually, and so you even had that. It's just got everything in it, man. Everything.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Just have fun.
The-
Have fun to do.
y-
So the guy that Maria fought at the end, Black Bear, the big the guy, his name's Sifu Damien. That was his martial arts studio in Melbourne. That's where
Yep.
we shot it. And little Vin, he trains under he was training under Richard Norton and Sifu Damien. And Vin has always wanted to be in action things. So I said, "Oh, it's all right, Vin. We're gonna put you in Tiger Cop." So that, like he really loved being in that.
I bet he does
Yeah,
kind of do. Oh no, no, I mean, he does do a move, right?
yeah,
Because once Norton goes, you get a sort of an hand and a foot come in
yeah,
and hit her. And one of you can see the tracksuit was his tracksuit, so he kind of
yeah,
does do a move.
yeah. So yeah, we got him just to do a few moves. So
Look, even the ending, you knew how to do it. You got the Chinese, the English speaking police inspector lady coming out, finishes with a comedy scene with a
yeah,
grenade,
yeah,
freezing, brilliant, and then obviously goes on to having outtakes, which wasn't on every film, but
no,
it became something that we all looked out for as
yeah,
viewers, didn't it? Yeah, so
yeah,
that was brilliant. Yeah. So there you go. Look, and I even noticed in those outtakes that you've mentioned it now, so I know. But one of my questions was going to be, I saw you, the seafood bloke. Well, you told me he's a kung fu bloke. You told me that was his kung fu school. You were choreographing. I saw you doing tiger claw in his throat. So I was going to ask, listen, are you actually kung fu as well? But you did say earlier that you've done martial arts all your life, haven't you?
yeah. I did have keto for many years, most of my life, and then after that, when I stopped, I would learn different things through my friend who was doing different styles, and he would teach me weapons, different styles of weapons. And I did Wing Chun for a little bit, so I would pick up things. And
Yeah.
then other friends who was actually who did a lot of kung fu would teach me certain things, and because you did martial arts for so like most of my life, it's just you just know how to move, so you can adopt those movements.
Yep.
And so yeah,
Well, that's true. That does, once you get a flair for it or whatever, then yeah, you can pick up different styles or bits of
yeah,
different styles easier. And we've
yeah,
seen that with people that are in these kung fu films that we go, don't, some of them don't have a traditional martial arts background, but they do some of the best kung fu in the films. And I always think, yeah, but it makes sense because think of who the people that they're around. So, for example, if you're around Sammo Hung or Lau Garlung, then you're going to be around the best people.
yeah.
You're going to pick so much stuff up, even
That's
if
right.
you're not an actual martial artist.
Yeah, as long as you got that foundation, then you can mold you into moving a certain way.
Yeah, exactly. So there you go. Look, I mean, you heard what I've got to say about the film.
Thank
Well, now, thank you for doing it, for making the film. I think you've done a fantastic job on it. I was unaware just how much. Once I saw the credits, I knew you directed it. I knew you done the choreography, and I knew you wrote it. But yeah, I didn't know just how much you did. It's obviously like your little baby, in it,
Yeah.
which is how Jackie Chan treated his films. He even signed off the poster. He might not have drawn it and designed it like you did, but even down to that, he would go, "Yeah, all right, the poster's good as well." So yeah, you're carrying on that. So it's absolutely brilliant.
Thank you.
Thanks a
Well,
lot,
you
man.
go and check out the other Tiger Cop stuff and have fun with
Well,
that.
yeah. Now I know they exist. Yeah, it's funny though,
Yeah.
right? And I know this one. Maybe it's just, to be honest, it's only really when doing this channel that I'm on social media. I never used to be. Um, I don't really even want to be now, but I am, if you like. So I see more stuff and I connect with people that would send me these things as well. So
Hmm.
I'm not surprised that I don't know that there was other Tiger Cop stuff, and I do know about this one just because I'm more aware of what's going on.
Yeah.
Yeah, fair enough, isn't it? So there you go.
There you go.
Now listen, I'm happy to do more chats. That's pretty obvious, right? But We'll leave it there, and I do think that there's plenty more that we could talk about in the future.
Sure.
If you want to just let me know or let everybody else know um, where we can find your stuff, your YouTube channel. I know it's Fideo Films, right?
Yeah, it's Fideo Films, Fideo Films at YouTube, and I have Facebook. There's a Tiger Cop Facebook page called Tiger Cop 80's Action, or myself, Adrian Castro. That's pretty much it.
Yeah, and if you go to Fideo Films and you take a look at Tiger Cop, there's a hell of a lot of information and links to everybody in the description there as well.
Mm.
So all the actors and everyone involved is meticulously linked in there as well. So yeah,
Yes.
you'll be able to find everything you need to see there. But I do recommend that. I mean, this is a Hong Kong kung fu movie channel. I do recommend that people go and check this out if you like Hong Kong movies, and I'm guessing you do. If you if you're watching, not sure you'll still be watching after 2 hours, but you never know. We shall see. But yeah, check out this Tiger Cop Project A, because it's you can see it's a love letter to Hong Kong movies, and I appreciate the effort that you put into that, Chino,
Thank you.
Adrian. Yeah, it's much appreciated. Thanks for bringing it back, because there's a guy that I talked to, a friend of mine called Nathan. Nathan Gearing. He's a short filmmaker as well, and he's just finished a feature film, and he is also trying to do work of bringing this stuff back. Because again, he's a big kung fu and Hong Kong movie fan. So yeah,
Yeah.
people like you say,
Cool.
people like this stuff. Yeah, nice to see these things having a bit of a comeback. But then,
Yes.
are we going to say that Twilight of the Warriors walled in? That wasn't a bad. That was a good
Yeah.
resurgence from Hong Kong. That was a good Hong Kong film, wasn't it? The new
Yeah.
one.
Yeah. It was. Did well.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. That's a good point, actually, because it did perform really, really well. That's a good thing as well, right? Because you'd think that they're going to make more films like that, even if they don't make sequels. That you'd hope that other filmmakers will look at that and go, "What? So people want to watch kung fu films?" Because that had a lot of throwback stuff in it as well, spiritual kung fu, Iron Armor, and all that stuff. It had
yeah.
some stuff in there as well, and I really enjoyed it.
Mm.
It was actually a good film as well.
Mm.
But your sound effects were better.
Thank you.
It's just the truth. But look, it's been a pleasure chatting to you. I'm grateful to be able to chat to you, to actually be able to speak to somebody who's made something that I've watched and enjoyed. That is definitely a rarity. So thank you for being so open with coming on and so generous with your time, because that's the way these things happen, and you don't have to be
Yes.
doing that. And I greatly appreciate it. And I don't know what you hope to get from making this short film, but let's hope that it can be as successful as possible. Uh,
Yes. Yeah. I
what
just
we
yeah.
Yeah. Do you have plans for it? What we doing? Is it just the YouTube social media thing? I mean, are
Yeah.
you
It's
able to
just
take this anywhere?
uh each one that we do, we put it out there, but this one has been the biggest one. And so, it's people are seeing, Richard doing his thing again. So which is awesome. So,
Yeah.
people ask, you do feature film? Like, yeah, I'd love to do a Tiger Cop and an 80's feature film, but trying to get to that point, and who's gonna fund something like that. So that's a different conversation. But yeah, would love to get Tiger Cop more out there.
Yeah.
So see how it goes.
Yeah. Well, there you go. Thank you, Adrian Chino Castro.
Thank you.
Much appreciated. Again, thank you for coming on, and thank you for being so generous with your time. I appreciate it, man. Thanks a lot. And
You're welcome.
hopefully now we'll keep in touch, and
Yes.
I'll speak to you soon. Yeah.
Yes. All right.
Nice one.
Take care.
Thanks a lot,
Yeah.
man.
Bye bye.
See you later.